What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Christ in Capital. This is actually not an episode per se. I just wanted to kind of bring you guys up to speed on some of the things that are going on with the podcast and with the Christ in Capital brand in general. I'm super excited about some of the things that are going on that are just on the horizon. So I wanted to, get an episode out there to kind of just talk through them. A couple days ago if you're following on Instagram, I posted a story that said basically big news. And there was 3 things listed. And these 3 things were just very ambiguous. I wasn't, providing much information about them. And so I wanted to lay those out here. The first was that we had a big guest coming on, probably one of the bigger guests that we've had on the show before. And I'm really excited. So I guess this is the reveal. Drum roll. So the new guest, or the guest that's coming on, is David Bahnsen. If you don't know who David Bahnsen is, you need to get familiar with his work. I'm actually introduced to him because of the work that his dad has kind of put out into the Christian realm, the Reformed world. His dad, Greg Bahnsen, who you may know, has just been a giant of the faith for lots of people, specifically in the realms of apologetics, some economics, I guess, a little bit, but more mainly around law. How does God's law apply to the civil sphere? The different realms that God has set up, the family, the state, and the and the church, getting Christians familiar with those realms, how they apply, how they correlate, how they integrate with one another, how they operate with one another. Just a giant of the faith, just super, super awesome teacher. You just need to get in touch with his work. You need to get his books, his lectures, his sermons. You're going to be super blessed, and I'm thankful to God for all of his work. But Greg Bahnsen's son, David Bahnsen, is a huge influence in the financial markets area. Right? He's I think a hedge fund manager, the Bahnsen Group, which is a wealth management firm. So David actually has had a huge impact on my thinking as well as it relates to apologetics and all of that kind of stuff. He's the managing partner and chief investment officer of the Bahnsen Group, which, like I said, is a wealth management firm. And he was previously a Chairman's Club managing director at Morgan Stanley. So if that says anything about, his experience, where he's coming from, you need to get ready for this episode. David is a contributor to Forbes and National Review, which are 2 really big magazines. He writes on the intersection of markets and politics. He's a frequent guest on CNBC, Fox Business, Bloomberg TV, Fox News, and other networks. Odds are, if you watch any of those networks, you've probably seen him before. He just provides lots of commentary on the economic matters of the day, a lot of the political, social, even sometimes. But he's been on TV a lot, and so I'm super excited that he's coming on the podcast, that he's given us some time. It's really going to be a blessing. I'm trying to get a lot packed into just maybe like 20 minutes. So pray that I have good questions to ask, and questions that will provide value to us as Christians who are thinking about markets and economics and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, pray for that. I'm really excited. I've been wanting to have him on for a really long time, but I've been waiting to approach him about it, because I know his time is really valuable, and I'm just waiting for a great time. He is releasing a book soon called There's No Free Lunch, 250 Economic Truths. I think it releases on the 9th, but on November 9th. But maybe I think the audio version and maybe a digital version are available now. But the hard copy is coming in the mail, and it's not released until the 9th. And so I will get the opportunity to ask him questions as someone who has not read the book. So it's going to be fun. I'm hoping to get his opinions and his thoughts on the overlap of economics and theology. So just awesome opportunity. David is not only a public intellectual who is, very enthusiastic and outspoken about his Christian faith, but he is a solid believer, right? Bringing worldviews to bear on markets and economics, and bringing the Christian worldview into that whole fray, and showing how it is it is true. It's the truth. And so like I said, I keep saying it, I'm super excited. So tell your friends, subscribe to the podcast. We're going to be talking to David this week, but it won't be released until next week. So get ready. I'm ready. I'm so excited. So that was the first thing. David Bahnsen is going to be on the show. Second is that Christ in Capital is now going to be part of the Manifold Ministries guild, I guess you'd call it. Manifold Ministries is just a collection, like I said, a guild of content creators who aim to provide quality, edifying media that through a biblical lens. The mission is to bring glory to the Creator, whose manifold attributes inspire us daily. If you've been paying attention to the podcast or been following for a while, Stephen Lauterbach, who is on one of the, maybe episode 10 or something like that, where he came on to talk about the music industry. He's actually the curator there at Manifold Ministries, and he's doing an awesome job. There's a whole bunch of different podcasters, bloggers. So I've got Despite Popular Belief, which I've guested on before, when they've also guested on our podcast. There's Jesus Smart podcast, which is run by Brian Del Turco. Really awesome stuff there. Some blogs, Fighting Stagnant, which is written by Stephen, and then another blog, Freedom and Truth, which is written by Allison Rossborough. So really awesome content there as well, approaching the wokeism, spirituality over, what do they call it, the woo-woo Christianity. But yeah, she has some really great articles over there at Freedom and Truth. So go get plugged in at Manifold Ministries. I think there's a lot more to come in that regard, and I'm really excited about that as well. Stephen has an eye for the aesthetics and the production of podcasts and media and all this type of stuff. So I'm really excited about what he's going to be bringing to the podcast, and how he's going to be able to coach me to, make this podcast and the content that it creates with more of a polish and a shine. So I'm stoked. So yeah, Manifold Ministries, go get plugged in, visit manifoldministries.com, get subscribe or get plugged into all those different podcasts and blogs. Like I said, really great stuff. And I'm so excited. So that was 2, Manifold Ministries. Christ in Capital will be on Manifold Ministries now. And then third, last but not least, I guess kind of a preface. For a long time, I've thought about how I am telling everyone on this podcast to love God, love neighbor, and build something. And I've always considered this podcast a build something under that label, quote unquote, build something. We're building content, building a platform, building a brand with Christ in Capital. But what I want to do is I wanted to challenge myself to build a brand that is consistently providing value that is returning revenue, right? An actual business. The Christ in Capital does get me a little bit of money, but it's not necessarily a business. This is something where it's a ministry essentially. But I really want to start a brand, right? And so I don't want to spill too much of the beans about what's going on with that whole thing, but I am going to tell you that we are going to be starting a brand called Good Fight Outfitters. Okay. It's going to be a clothing brand. It's going to be a Christian clothing brand. But I think there's an area where Christian clothing fails. And maybe fails is not the best word, but there's an area where Christian clothing is weak. And I think we have a gap to fill there. So without going into too much detail about what's going on, I want you all to go over to Instagram and Facebook and like and follow Good Fight Outfitters. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming to those accounts, those platforms soon. But the reason I wanted to get this out here now is because I want to take you guys on that journey of starting that, of building this brand. Okay. I think it's a perfect fit with Capital. I'm just going to be doing stuff in the back and then all of a sudden just throw everything out there and then hope and pray that it's going to stick. I want to bring you guys along, show how we're actually building something. Hopefully it'll get everyone thinking about how they can, identify an area where something, where a need needs to be met, where there's a pain point or a passion that needs to be addressed. And I want to bring you guys along on that journey. And so there's going to be some back end stuff that's happening to kind of prep for launch, which I'm thinking may not be until the beginning of the year, which may be a little difficult because actually I don't know if I've revealed this on the show. I'm having another baby. We are due. My wife is due on January 28th. And so that's going to be a little, I don't know how that's going to work out, but that's the plan, is to launch, sometime at the beginning of the year. But until then, I want to kind of bring you guys along on the process. I've got some artists kind of in line to help out with the brand, the designs of the products. I've got some web designers helping out with the website. I'm getting really in tune with the marketing aspects. How do we not only provide good products, but find the people who want this product, find the people who have this passion, who want this product, right? That's half the battle, right? Is finding them, getting eyes on the product. So like I said, go to Good Fight Outfitters, GOODFIGHT Outfitters, on Facebook and Instagram. The website will be coming soon. It's not there yet. And then I will be pushing it out on other platforms as well. But for right now, Instagram and Facebook, there are some accounts set up right now. There's not a lot on there, so don't be super upset if you don't see anything on there right now. I'll start getting more involved and pushing stuff out. But this is just the pre-launch stuff. Okay. So I'm really excited. Lots of cool things going on. Like I said, first one, David Bahnsen's going to be on the show. Second, Manifold Ministries, Christ and Capital, is now part of a guild of content creators. Go get plugged in with Manifold. Like I said, really awesome stuff. And then Good Fight Outfitters. Get ready. Get ready. Yeah. Like on Instagram and Facebook, which reminds me, Christ and Capital has some t-shirts right now. Oh, look, here's the one. You see that? It's Isaiah 42:4. It says, "The coastlands wait." For all you theonomists out there, you may want to go get this shirt. I really like it. It's a really good fit. Yeah, I really like it. If you can't see, if you're not watching on YouTube, the letters are in the shape of a pocket on the left chest. Pretty neat idea, if I don't say so myself. So yeah, go check out christandcapital.com /apparel. Get you some t-shirts. That may help us out with the Good Fight Outfitters launch. Yeah. So lots of stuff going on. I'm really excited to bring you guys along for the Good Fight Outfitters stuff. And all the different things that are going on right now. So, man, what else? I don't know. I think that's it. Love God, love neighbor, build something. Talk to you guys later.
This has been a Manifold Ministries podcast. For more content, visit us at manifoldministries.com.